Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Navis Nobilite. I am Captain Zelnick, and today we are continuing the ship overview for the Tau Commerce Protection Fleet with the Custodian class battleship. Sitting at a proud 330 points, what are we getting out of this totally not a grand cruiser? We have a 10-hit battleship with 20 centimeters speed, 45-degree turns, 3 shields, 5 up armor, and 4 turrets. We are equipped with a port and starboard railgun battery at strength 6, firing left front and front right, a 45 centimeter port and starboard ion cannon, left front and front right. It has 3 wardens only gravitic hooks along the stern, a port and starboard launch bay at strength 3 each, and a strength 8 prow gravitic launcher out the front. Obviously, it can only take wardens. It cannot undergo come new heading. It does have a prow deflector, which increases its prow armor to 6. And most importantly of all, it has an integrated tracking system coupled to an extremely sophisticated sensor suite. It has a range of 20 centimeters instead of 10, meaning it has the same effects that a messenger has, only at a range of 20, which means it's a really good idea to keep your other combat vessels within the bubble of 20 centimeters around the Custodian, which is not actually that hard, simply because your fleets are going to want to be within a tight formation as the Tau, especially Commerce Protection Tau, so you can fire off as much of your torpedoes at a single target as you really can. So this is only going to make you more lethal when you get into shooting range and give you the advantage of re-rolling all of your turrets for everyone in that bubble. So, Custodian really is trying to render the messenger obsolete. Now, in reality, the messenger is still relevant within the Commerce Protection Fleet 100%. It's basically in that regard, however, it's filling in gaps. It's filling out holes that for vessels and squadrons that may not have the tracking system benefit. Now, what are we looking at when it comes to specifically the build? Obviously, this is the Tau's attempt to make a proper battleship scale vessel while still retaining the tactics that the Tau themselves have championed, which is moving slowly across the board, dumping ordnance onto the table, and making your enemy pay for it. The vessel has the longest range overall firepower and concentrated firepower of the fleet. It has obviously 45 centimeter ion cannons and 45 centimeter rail guns. It has a very powerful gravitic launcher, and it has the bulk of your launch capacity in the fleet. Most people will be fielding at least one Custodian, but you'll also find that this vessel is going to become very much a linchpin of your firepower as well, simply because of how much shooting it has compared to really the rest of your fleet. It alone has a decent amount of firepower at strength 12 weapons battery, and with the tracking system makes it much easier to hit things at long range. So this will very much be the center of your fleet, and you have to keep it protected. Recognize that, like all large Tau vessels, it's a little bit of a Nova Cannon bait because it has a large base and it's not particularly quick. Now, unlike the Explorer, which is the world's biggest Nova Cannon bait, this thing can actually soak a direct hit with full damage from a single Nova Cannon. The Explorer, not so much. Now, something that you really should bear in mind, however, there is nothing in the world that says that you can't have a Custodian and an Explorer. And in fact, that's what I do on a regular basis. I take a Custodian with an Explorer, specifically the Carrier Explorer, so I can shore up the already overwhelming advantage I have in the ordnance phase. It also allows me, since I am dumping my Barracuda and my Manta strength onto an Explorer, I can focus my smaller ships on more firepower. So I'll take a lot more, say, I would take a lot more of the Lance variant of the Emissary, or I'll take more ships that involve grav hooks. So I can take a more escort craft, and the Tau escorts are particularly good. So the Custodian is a astoundingly good craft on its own. It's just made better if you take an Explorer with it. If you try to use this like an Imperial Navy or Chaos battleship, you're going to find that it's going to die very fast. It only has the defenses of a basic Grand Cruiser. Yeah, it has a better prow armor, but 10 hits is not a lot for a battleship. And it doesn't have the defenses of an Eldar battleship. So, as much as I'm sure all of you want this thing to get in and use its guns to shoot down the evil human, dirty Guela vessels, you really should be keeping this thing amongst the other vessels in your fleet so it can support them appropriately with its tracking system and supplement their firepower with its stronger than average firepower. It's not meant to go out on its own and be the hero of the board. This is a Tau fleet. It's supposed to work collectively. All right. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you all again in the next video.